Howdy, folks. We're gonna be having a honky donkey of a time right now. At least that's what I hope for the best of us. Everybody's gonna get gentrified one way or another. The country's gonna come into your home. I haven't been outside in weeks. Hear that identity? I haven't been outside in weeks. You can't pin me on anything. I ain't gonna be showing up on no ring cameras, you know what I'm saying? I can see it in my gut, and I can feel it in my heart. I don't know where I began, I don't know where I started, and I'm lost in so many ways. I have a plan. I don't know what I'm gonna do if I go to Japan one day, 'cause I don't speak the language and I don't wanna offend anyone. I'm just gonna crawl under a rock, under the sun, and eat a big burger. Burgers are pretty good. I like spaghetti. I'm a textural kind of person. That was based on a true story I had once upon a time. How are you doing there, identity? Most of the time it feels like you're just, spitting in the wind, but, most of the time maybe it doesn't even matter what you're doing. Maybe all that matters is that you're with people that you love and you're doing what you think is right. You're doing good in the world. How about them apples? How about them sea cucumbers? That's what I just think, everybody should be doing, just getting to know each other. Cutting right to it. Let's bake bread together and then break it over each other's heads and stuff like that if we need to. Especially with a nice fresh baguette, those come out of the oven, let them sit for 10 minutes, and they become a razor sharp in the end when you break them up. You cut people's throats with those things. But still, you don't want to break somebody over the head with it. You just want to break the bread with it. And that's how you get to know people and you get to love people. And you get to see things that maybe you didn't even get to see it before. It was like you were out in some kind of ancient pasture with these big old megalithic cows. These big ass cows out there. One stomp on your head and you're dead. You're done for, son. I remember those days. I remember those days like it was yesterday's. Okay. Yes. Hey, why isn't it up? There we go. Perfect. All right. I was thinking about playing some music, because I have a fascination with, apparently sitting like this for long periods of time. I have a fascination with the country. You know what I'm saying? Like some countrified music. Well, I went walking down by the river, mama. I don't know what I was looking for, mama. I went talking with the fishes, mama. And I went back and forth until I was up and north and it was south. Yeah, mama. 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 And it goes on and on for about like 17 more minutes or something like that. And then the chorus that goes, baby coming down in the cavern with the cave, mama, mama, mama. I'm grieving at the thought and I can say my dog get out back, mama. Never gonna mow the lawn, never gonna call me a freaking lawn, and I'm on. Mama. It's a song about my daddy. Poor guy. Strange what happened to that fella. Yep. You might say that he's lassoing cattle in the sky. Mom. How's it going out there? Well, hello, Vegan. How you doing out there, Mom? I just wanted to say hi to everybody. And I reckon it's time just to say, big whoop-de-doo, everybody. How you doing? Checking in. Let's check in with each other. My name is Blight. Blight Chokum. Dang near killed me. and this is my channel while Story is out lollygagging and paddly-wapping and fiddle-fapping. What a little flapper. Flapping in the wind, that little. Well, I tend to come on here and just talk about the down-home kind of stuff, you know? The kind of stuff that we all kind of share. Because I'm like a down-home kind of person. I'm just a backwoods brother. I'm a critter from another litter. That's pretty much it. This darn thing's trying to kill me. It's trying to bite me in the face. I just don't know what to do about that. You can never be too careful. Cement mixers. R.I.P. Had to go. You know, that should have seen that coming. You're the only person I ever told that to. And pretty soon you're going to be the last. Mama. My father was a mason. Died in the cement mixer with a guy named Jason. That was a song about my mom. I wrote that when I was just freshly born, and I guess the first thing I wanted, I didn't want milk or food or television. I wanted a little bit of television. I saw like Gumby or something like that, and I lost my lid, you know. But then what I was really wanting was a guitar, because I just wanted to start writing music as soon as I I was let out. As soon as I was cut loose. Give me that dang guitar. Let's get some business done. Let's rock and roll. What are we waiting for? You ever notice how nothing ever really starts and nothing ever really ends? And that we're all just in the big surreal roping arena of life, you know? I'm running my horse wicked trying to get that trophy, trying to win that jackpot. I go to potlucks all the time with my horse named Kirby. We win a lot of money. Take home a lot of monies. And we take home cattle. My house is full of cows. You wouldn't believe it. But anything would be worth it. Just to get a #1 hit song on the Grand Ole Opry Rock and Roll Radio 101 FM. That's what I'm talking about, friends. Well, that's what I'm talking about, friends. And so on and so forth. I think you get it. More. More. That sounds like Operation Ivy. Big city, big city. I wrote this about a bug that I met in an alleyway. What you doing here, you little bastard? I'm gonna kill you now. Don't talk or I won't be able to. You ever like go to kill a snail and it starts talking to you? No? Alright. Okay. Have you ever met a snail gonna squish it, then it starts talking to you? A little slimy bastard has a cute little voice and it's talking to you, so you let it go. It happened to me yesterday. I didn't have the words to say I love you, you little slimy bastard. Get out my way, get out my way. I think that's the song that he taught me. Because he was calling me the slimy bastard. I was the slimy bastard in that song. So, but I sat with this snail for about an hour yesterday and he taught me that song on guitar. It was it was a pretty cool snail. Pretty cool snail. Alright, just checking in on these messages here. One of those says, you're a big dope. Okay, I think I'm just reading that. Is it on the inside of these glasses? No, okay. What the hell? Oh, I don't get it. Okay. You bathe in eternal flames. You're sucking honey from the backs of our graves. There'll always be a shining star. Yeah, this you'll always be a part of it all, and time goes on and on, and time remembers everything, and time has got me by the ball. To the branch at the tip of the tree, snapped itself and fell to be free. You're bouncing off of us when we sleep. You're taking time to apologize to every limb you meet, and time goes on and on, and time remembers everything, and time has got me by the balls. You're at the cusp of every kiss. Between us two, it's you they're gonna miss. You'll always be a shining star. Yeah, this you'll always be a part of it all, and time goes on and on, and time remembers everything, and time of every kiss. Between us two, it's you they'd rather miss. You'll always be a shining star. Yeah, this will always be a part of it all, and time remembers everything. Time goes on and on, and time has got me by the balls, and time goes on and on, and time remembers everything, and time has got me by the balls. That was a song I wrote back when I was 21 years old, when I lived in France. I wrote that song next to a guru. His name was Billy. He owned a comedy club. He owned a comedy club in New London, just outside of New York City, New Jersey. It's quite an adventure. That's where I picked up this accent. And I've been having to talk like a hick ever since, just to, like, you know, save my face, even though I don't really have a face anymore. This isn't even my real face. It does hurt though. This new one hurts. It's achy. Wakey, wakey, achy, fakey. I don't even know what that means. Okay. are you all doing? I came here to ask you some questions. How are you doing? I came here to ask you tonight. And I don't feel like myself. Howdy, little partner. What you tell me your name? Will things ever be the same? I don't think so, little bugger, little buckaroo. I love you from the bottom of my heart. I do, you little buckaroo. That was a song that I used to sing to myself as a baby to put myself to sleep. It's called Little Buckaroo. Go to sleep, little buckaroo. I'm already asleep, me. That's when things really started to splinter. I remember it like it was yesterday, because it's been happening from the age of 2 up until yesterday. And now I'm 9 to 3, and I just don't feel my age anymore. Yeah, sure, I've got a little unpacking on the guts now. Yeah, it just means I got more guts. I just look more macho, and that's what I want. Sometimes the cars go by here, and they rattle the house. And I just get up and I start dancing, because it just feels so darn great. I wish I knew what that meant, partner, because I would definitely understand it if I did. Those words, I just don't understand what they are. It looks like Monday and Tuesday or something like that. Money, and then time is money. That's what I'm thinking, you know. I made this shirt myself. I don't know if you can tell, but it's true. It's not biblically accurate, but you know, it's I'm just poking fun. Well, I'm just poking fun. Just poking fun at everyone. I'm poking fun. Get off my lawn. Well, my name is Black. You can just fly right over there. Get off my lawn while I sing my song. Get off my lawn. Goes on for another 20 minutes or so, and then the accent comes back in. Well, I don't know who I am, who I want to be no more. And then I start going into other characters and stuff like that. It's a great big country rock opera that I'm working on, It's about 3 days long. Once it's going to be finished, it's going to be a 3-day experience for people to come into like this dome facility. It's like a warehouse, all this dome and asbestos in the air, and just like make it really authentic, and have people come in and go through these little. We take them on a tour. A tour. I come through town too as a tour, but they come into my warehouse wherever I'm set up as a tour. And they don't know that though. That's the thing. The second they walk into that warehouse, holy moly, they're on a ride and they have no idea. And so right away, that's when the music starts, and I come out of nowhere and I pop one in the head with my guitar, and I say, "Get down, you freak!" And I start playing my music, and then everybody starts running around screaming because there's blood probably. I'm prepared for blood. I got a first aid for myself. I don't know about the people who would be in there, but I'll make sure that everybody's safe and stuff like that after I hit them a few times, just to stir things up, just to bring it down home, and then we can talk about all sorts of stuff. Once we bring those barriers down, we burst down these barriers between each other. That's when we can really start, making commitments to change. Oh, son of a bit. Yeah. And I'm here for that. That's all I'm trying to say. My life. I just right before I started doing all this, my life was very strict. It was very rigid. It was kind of stiff, and I had to use my imagination to keep my life sustained. My eagerness to stay alive had to be satiated, and that's where art and creativity came in, along with food, water, breathing. But art came to me just like it does with that stuff. And so with that, you start taking on different jobs, and your brain starts taking on different functions, and over time you realize these functions are just faces within your freaking mind. And then you can go out and tend to your fields, and you'll yield some good crops that year. At least that's what Daddy used to tell me. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that's why I sing it. So this is why I make music. This is why I make art, because there's a lot of people who can't, that want to. I've met a lot of people that wish they could make art, and it makes me sad, because I know now that some people can't even visualize stuff. They can't even probably dream. They can't even conceive of just an image in their mind. They can't think of their mother's face in their mind. They just can't. They can't. And I didn't know this about people. I used to think, nah, everybody can dream. Everybody can visualize. That was me assuming stuff about people. And I had to just come down from my high horse and just start talking to people just to get to know them, because I've been a stubborn little prick all my life. You know what I'm saying? That's all I've been trying to say, really. Through my music, through my art. Just what a big giant prick I've been all these years, throughout my life before very recently, in which I got off my prickly high horse, and I started just listening, just shellacking, lacking, and jacking with my friends, my homies and stuff. And it's been a wild ride. I mean, I went around the world twice by now. Stayed in this crazy cave in Guatemala for 6 months. I didn't see the light. I was 6 stories down, and my accent did change while I was there. I think it was because of the ghosts. But anyways, it doesn't have to be so dramatic. It was a fun time. There was a great swimming hole down there I went to every day, and I was well fed, and there's plenty of bats and things like that. So whatever. But they don't like Americans, at least the people that I was with, because they were Canadians. So I was traveling with a group of Canadians, and every chance they got, they beat the hell out of me. They beat the living snot out of me. And I swear to God, it was alive when it came out, because then after that, it was just limp, and it was dead. My snot was dead. And they did that. They did that to my snot. Everybody knows how violent those Canadians are. I'm also trying to get better about my prejudices. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Once I realized as well that all of my prejudices were about other people. They're just my reflections of my own weaknesses, I just project all this stuff on other people that I don't have the courage to battle with my own brain. oh shit got really weird and stuff, and I just don't even know how to even like begin to talk about it, except that I think I'm doing it now. Hey Daniel, holy moly, you're early. How are you doing there, Daniel? Good to see you. See, Daniel lives in Germany. I like to say Germany because it just sounds cool. It just sounds like you're some kind of lethal force or something like that. Germany. How many of you are there? Germany. Be proud. Even in the text, I can tell that that's how you pronounce it too, Daniel. And I love you. I love you for it. I hope you're doing well. Story is back at the hotel. He's not feeling so well. So I thought I'd come out here, maybe take on a question or two, play a few songs, crack a few of my awesome jokes, do what I do, you know. If I could wink, I would do it right now. I would take off my glasses and I would wink, but I'm incapable of winking. Oddly enough, my belly button winks at will. I can make it blink, you know, but not my own eye. It really hurts you. If I feel like I have no control of my body, I can't wink. God damn it. Sorry, that's just a touchy. That's just a touchy thing. All right, wait. Whew. Hold on, friends. Hold on. God, gosh darn dang. You guys are really bringing it out of me. Oh, God. All right. Dre. I'm doing well except for my sleep and eating disorder. Well, that's a start. That's a start. Yeah. As long as that's all. No. I actually feel you. I've actually been sleeping lately, which has been nice. Sleeping in until I usually wake up and I know it's happened the last few days where I wake up and I know that it's 5 o'clock, you know, and I know not only do I know that it's 5 o'clock, but I know that it's going to be 5:03 when I look at that stupid phone. And then I even wait a minute and then I look at the goddamn clock and it says 5:03. What the hell? Has that ever happened to any of you? I know it does. You can't hide the truth from me. I'm on some kind of different kind of time, you know, some kind of different kind of schedule. I like saying it like that because it makes me sound British. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of them things. It's no big deal. And I like talking like this. I like talking to you. I like y'all not talking like that, but my friends and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to say. Holy gosh darn dang. I know I laugh like a dolphin. But I try not to. I try to be good about it. Great Grammy was cooking in the kitchen. I could have sworn I just heard somebody like singing. That was a song I wrote back in 1903 called Too Many Cooks in the Kitchen. It gets happier. It doesn't just stay like that. That was the miserable version. Let's see. Hey, Dre. Let's see what you said. I can't remember. You can't remember my show's main character's name. The show you didn't want to get copyright. Oh, Slinky Beazle. That's Slinky, like the toy, and if you're talking about the puppet show, Slinky Beazle, and Beazle is just Beezle, I think. There's 13 episodes, and they range in length from like 2 minutes to, I think the longest one is about 17 minutes, but it's all puppets. And just, I think it was kind of definitely a precursor to what I started doing with my channel, back to like writing skits and sketches, because that little puppet made me want to write scripts again after like 20 years. It was crazy. Like all of a sudden I had this little pirate puppet, and yeah, I like named him, and he had a voice and everything, and I started writing little scripts and scenarios and stuff, and had a chance. The channels are still up there, but the puppet is he has since passed on. But there's 13 episodes. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Slinky Beazle. Yes, that's it. Like it had an intro and everything, but that was when I didn't understand. That was back in 2021, I think. Yeah, it had just turned 2021, and in March of 2021, I did 13 episodes in 1 month. And one of them is a video about puppets. It's because it was World Puppet Day in March, and I had no idea. It just happened to fall in March, so I found that out and did a whole video on puppets and how that day was Puppet Day, and it was literally called like Happy Puppet World Puppet Day or something like that. But they're too long, and I could like now I would just like shorten them down and make them more episodic, but back then I didn't understand, like maybe people don't want to see these long drawn out things, because I didn't know how to like shrink things down, and I don't know, you'd have to be a fan of it to watch it all. It cracks me up, but that's the kind of thing, it's like sometimes what cracks you up doesn't crack other people up. But they're all out there still. But I know I really want to do another puppet. Just I like the ones I have, but there's gotta be, I gotta make one that's like my own, and it's more like durable, has more of a personality, more expressive. But I don't know how to make puppets. I can learn though. And Portland is actually a really big puppetry town, so I'm gonna be living there next month. Things are gonna get crazy. Well, I broke the fourth wall. I do a lot of the time. I'm always out here for a little bit, and I think to myself it would be nice to go inside and just like watch a movie, like an old movie, an old feel good movie or a good action movie or something, like The Matrix or I don't know, just something. And then I go in there and I just start doom scrolling, and it's just terrible. It's too easy. I gotta stay away from my devices in that way. When I'm on YouTube and stuff, I tend to watch a lot of movie reviews and stuff, channels, and then I don't know if any of you watch what is it, The Drinker, the Critical Drinker or whatever. Can't remember his name right now. I started watching him a long ass time ago, and I watch all sorts of review channels, but I hate how everything is just so stupid and political now. It's just you can't even. Every movie has always been somewhat political, but everything's I don't know. Sometimes it's just like in your face. It's but anyways, yeah. I sometimes I watch these channels and then I don't even ever see the show or I don't ever see the movie, or at least I don't see those things for like a long time. But so when I see them, I know a lot about them. I'm I could be learning French, but I I could be learning some other language or something, but I want to go in there and watch like cop cam videos and people getting DUI arrested. Partly too because it's just what not to do in that kind of situation. You know, like it gives it. When I got pulled over, I kind of knew exactly what to do in order to like not get a ticket, basically, or at least not get uh, the situation escalated because I was a little stoned. But I was also raised by a cop, so I was raised by a cop and a criminal. My stepdad was a criminal, my dad was a cop. So that's why I've got a little country and a little bit of rock and roll inside me, baby. That's what I'm saying. God damn. Hmm? You speak Spanish too? Daniel, I knew it. I freaking knew it. ¿Cómo se dice? I freaking knew it in Espanol. but, but now you're just bragging. To, taco? What is it? You spelled taco wrong. Even my white ass knows that. God damn, I get down with the boogie. Seriously, my burritos, Mexican food is like my favorite thing in the world. My stepdad's Mexican. My sister's a Mexican. I have a huge ass Mexican step family. Like a really big Mexican step family. I love everything about that culture and the art, the music. I sing on a mountain to my great ancestors who were from the moon and gave me the pasty white flesh that I have and that you see before you. That's a monologue that I'm working to get into film school, theater film school. Wish me luck, everybody. Cross your fingers, hope to cry. I don't say hope to die because I don't want anybody to die. Huh? I eat German food like Italian. You eat German food like Italian pizza. What in the hell? Pizza is it? Are there Z's in that word pizza? What? And why does it sound like an itza? Like what? That's how you spell pizza? Am I worried about the painting story, or am I worried about the painting? Am I worried about the painting? Come on. Crow flies at noon. The crow flies at noon. Oh my god. Scared me. I thought there was somebody with a pickaxe behind me and are you huh? What about it? Am I worried about it? Why would I be how? You're finally drunk? Well, just be careful and be responsible. And if you're gonna drive, don't do it. No, you can get flagged. Flagged for what? It's just a butt. It's a creature. And that's I don't know what that is. And the tree, it's made out of blood. You think I could get flagged for that? Maybe people have been flagged for less? I don't know. I don't want to get flagged. Hold on. There we go. Now you'll be able to see me better. Now that we're all here, I would like to take a moment please don't fall. To rock and roll, baby. Better safe than sorry. I thought the guy's stuff was showing a little well. Well, it kind of was, but it's like it was just a few little lines. It was suggestive. But I don't know. Maybe I could still get flagged for all I know. But it's, I'd warn you. I appreciate it. Alcohol is the worst drug. Worst is German for sausage. Alcohol is the sausage drug. Worst is German for alcohol sausage crust. Well, everybody, I gotta go lay down. I got too much guts. I got too much heart for this crap. And my belly button is showing. But, anyways, I hope everybody's doing good. Lay down, Sally. I think tomorrow night I'm going to set my guitar on fire, so hope everybody's tunes in for that. And I hope everybody doesn't even flip flop the kit down the chip off the bat. Because, you know, I don't have insurance, and I hope, if at the very least, I hope that you do. I hope you take care of yourselves. Take care of the ones you're with. I wish all of you some happiness, some peace, some rest. I love you. I really do. I really do. Okay. Have a good night, everybody.